Welcome and good morning to Mike Ferry TV. Mike Ferry speaking. Today is the week of August 11th. We had a great superstar retreat a week and a half ago. A lot of you were there. We appreciate your time and your attendance. I'm very fortunate. I've received, 500 or 600 emails from our attendees saying what they learned, what they're attempting to do, the new plans they have, and the production they expect, so thank you. I did have one really interesting email, which I'll share with you as we start today. I had a fellow write me an email and he said, I go to the retreat every third year, and I've done that for about 15 years. And I just want to say to you, Mike, why don't you get some new material? Because all you talk about is the same stuff. Well, I thought about his email and I wrote back and I asked him a simple question. And I said, sir, do you have any new problems that you're facing? Because if you do, I'll get some new material. But see, the truth is in real estate, it's the same problem all the time. We don't manage our time well. We don't do any prospecting. We're ineffective at using scripts. We're not good at our presentation skills. Therefore, we have a hard time handling objections and getting contracts signed. I guess the real truth is the Los Angeles Lakers, a professional golfer, a great show here like Celine Dion in Las Vegas, they are practicing the same fundamentals every single day for their entire career. They're not looking for new ways to do it. They know there's a system in place that has to be followed. Well, as part of the retreat, we presented to you guys and gals, which was a big hit again, 4 different blueprints from great agents who are out doing their job every day. And what I want to do for the next 4 weeks is go back through those 4 blueprints for those of you that could not attend the retreat. We started these blueprints, I guess it would be in July of 2013. We did them in July 13, we did them in October 2013, we did them in January 2014 this year, we did them in Europe at our first retreat in April, and we did them again this last week. And what's interesting about these blueprints is all of my competitors are completely convinced that these blueprints are the answers to all the problems in real estate. So they're all titling their seminars The Blueprint, which is great. I have an old-fashioned philosophy that I can create new ideas faster than my competitors can steal them, but some ideas you need to stay with. And these blueprints are really solid rock foundation of what you and I have to do to succeed. So the first blueprint we had was a young man from Colorado, Ted Bachara. And Ted's been a client of ours for probably 20 years now. 100 deal a year producer, solid as rock and stone, just a great individual. For those that were there, you saw a true professional in motion as he presented his blueprint. I want to go through it with you. I want you to listen to this particular Mike Ferry TV segment 5 or 6 times this week. I want you to write down everything that he said, and then I want you to see how many of these things in his blueprint to success you can follow. Now, Ted has been doing this 75 to 95 to 100 plus transactions year after year after year. So we know what Ted is telling us works. So here's his blueprint. Number 1, I never forget to start every single day at 0. And he kind of looked at me on the stage and chuckled when he said it, because see, what Ted understands is it's easy to be complacent. It's easy to be satisfied. It's easy to have a couple of closings. It's easy to make a little bit of money and then really forget what your objective or job is, which is to go out and do your job every day. So he said to the audience, I wake up in the morning, I have no leads, I have no prospects, I have no listings, I have no sales, I have no pendings. Man, I'm motivated to go to work. If you start the day here with that thought, every day's a better day. Number 2, he said, I go to work with one goal every day. Now listen to this simplicity. My goal every day is to set 2 qualified listing appointments every day. Now, some of you will say, well, that's probably impossible. I don't have 2 every 3 months. Well, how much of what you do is controlled by the mindset you have? And the mindset is determined by the lack of skills or the skills that you have to move forward. Ted has great skills, and you'll see that as we present this. Therefore, as a result, his mindset says, I'm going to try to get 2 qualified listing appointments every day. Number 3, focus on only working with people that are able to make a decision to buy or sell real estate now. Interesting concept. Focus on working with people that can buy or sell real estate now. Ted is one of those great agents that is not concerned about the fact that some of your prospects say, Well, I'd like to do something possibly in February or March of 2015. And then we grab the lead, we hold on to it, we work it, we do the drip campaign, email campaign. Ted says, wait a minute, in my marketplace, there are people buying and selling real estate every day. My job is to focus on those that want to do something now. Number 4, spend 15 minutes a day practicing my listing presentation and 15 minutes a day practicing my pre-qualifying script so I get centered every day on what's going to happen later in the day. We talked a lot at the retreat about practice, rehearsing, role-playing, really learning the material you have to learn. When we get to Levert's, which we'll do in a couple of weeks, blueprint, he was a professional dancer in the Celine Dion show for many, many years. He told us that he practiced the routines 8 to 9 hours a day, and then they would perform at night. We're asking you to practice 30 minutes a day. Why does Ted practice the pre-qualifying and listing presentation scripts? Because as he said to all of us, these are the 2 scripts that are critical to long-term success if I want to become a better agent. Next, do strong lead follow-up every day. Never having more than 3 to 5 leads at a time who are willing to buy and sell in the next 7 to 10 days. Isn't that interesting? I never have more than 3 to 5 leads at one time. How many of us constantly have 20, 30, 50, 70 leads? And let's be honest, look at the confusion that creates. But Mike, some of these people may want to do something in the future, that's why I hold on to them. Right, but what about today? What about taking a listing today? Making a sale today? Making a strong presentation today? See, we're missing the fact that we are always looking to the future and missing today. Ted focuses on today. Next, work consciously on determining the personality style of each person I work with because it gives me better control. Ted is one of those agents that studies people. He can, after asking 8 or 10 questions, and after listening to the answers, he can determine the personality style, which allows him then to adapt his presentation to them. Something that you need to work on. But I love the next point on his checklist. Outwork my competition. If you saw Ted, you could see this guy, he works. He does it every day. He works at the business of selling. He works at the business of listing and selling real estate. He does not let up for a minute. He is there to outwork his competition. Next on his blueprint, always looking for people that are connectors in my community. So if you were there, you heard me say connectors. He said, well, Mike, you know, the mailman is a connector. He meets hundreds of people. The guy that runs the gas station is a connector. He services hundreds of people. The person that runs the dry cleaners is a connector. They have hundreds of clients. He said, I'm always working to try to establish a better relationship with people that have great connections in the community that I can work them for those referrals. Next on his blueprint, realizing the value of the accumulation effect on all of my numbers. The accumulation effect. Here's what I said to the audience. If you eat a hot fudge sundae every single day, the accumulation effect says you're going to gain weight and get fat. If you exercise every day, the accumulation effect says eventually you're going to get stronger and healthier. If you take vitamins every day, over the accumulation effect says eventually they're going to improve the quality of your health system and how you work. If you have negative thoughts all day long every day, the accumulation effect says negative actions, negative words come out of your mouth. Ted is a great believer in the accumulation effect, meaning that if he does his numbers every day over a length of time, now here's where a lot of you get in trouble. You'll do your numbers of prospecting today, then you won't do it for 5 days. And then you do it maybe next Wednesday, then you don't do it for 3 days. And then you say it doesn't work. Well, wait a minute. The accumulation effect says if you do it every day, it accumulates in your favor and you're going to win, which you always will. The next thing on his blueprint, know that the market does not determine if I make my goal. The market does determine what I have to do to make my goal. In the front of the retreat, we had 450 of the top agents in the nation sitting in front of me during the retreat. You should have seen how fast they wrote this point down. Watch. Know that the market does not determine if I make my goal. The market does determine what I have to do to make my goal. What an interesting and simple thought. And then the last point on his checklist, which I thought was great. I'm in a large military market in Colorado. There's a lot of cutbacks in the military, which we all know. The market has declined. However, working with my coach, we've determined I have to change a little bit of how I do business. For example, I have to improve my skills. I've learned to work that my business increases as I improve my skills. I have had to make some adjustments to the way I do business. I spend more time listing property, less time with buyers. Well, every market in North America today is getting better or getting worse. Every market's improving or declining. And this happens virtually week to week, month to month. And I think what I like best about what Ted said, his market awareness is what keeps him so far ahead of the competition. The stronger the market awareness, the better off we are going to be. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about a young lady from the greater Milwaukee area, Wisconsin, named Lisa Fabriano. And I'm going to go through her blueprint with you. If you were there, you saw a very young, very dynamic, very strong agent who again is going to do 100 transactions this year in what she's doing to succeed. I'm anxious to share that with you next week, and I will see you then. Thanks for today.